What's going on, everybody? What's happening? It's your boys. It's TeamBoydTV live for week 13. Happy Turkey Day early for everybody. I know everybody got the families coming in and everybody gathering around, and it's family time. For me, I got to work tomorrow. I'll be putting in that double overtime. That's what I'm going to be doing. But glad to have you guys with us on the dopest, livest, unscriptedest show on the internet, on the interwebs. It's TeamBoydTV Live. I'm your boy, Big Q. I'm joined by my homies. As always, I got these Stage of Sports glasses in the building. What's happening, Chief?
What's up, fam? JB, Big Q. Everybody out there in social media. Glad you are participating in the conversation. Let's go ahead and get it cracking.
Let's do it. JB, I know you're still sitting pretty. Everything's still looking good. There's my boy right there, the Raven Shogun.
Yo. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Let's go.
Let's get it, man. So we got a pretty good show for y'all today. As y'all, everybody who saw it on the thumbnail, we're going to be talking about coaches on that hot seat. We're going to be talking about some coaches that we think ain't going to make it to see 2020 season, right? Just our opinion. It's early. We'll see. We still got about 4 weeks of football left? Regular season football. Mm-hmm. We still got that. We'll take another look at the NFL playoff picture, which I don't think has changed all that much. I think it still looks about the same, right? But we'll take another look at it and see how that's going on. First of all, fellas, how y'all doing on this Thanksgiving Eve? How y'all holding up? Y'all good?
Well, just to be real with you, the Hulk is here in the shy, wind blowing at like 50 miles an hour, dropping the temperature down to like 30-something.
So you need to keep that up that way. Keep that up that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm saying, I think I was enjoying the crispy 50-something today early.
But,
Yeah, but the temperature done dropped as we got into the evening. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good. Anyway, what's been going on the Pick'em League, Glass?
It's all good. Oh, let's not forget. Shouts out to Mrs. Boyd. Finished this week 13-1. I can't remember what game she lost, man.
Yeah. The Atlanta game.
Of course. But when we say Mrs. Boyd, we got to be clear.
Oh,
we got to be real clear.
That's Bernie B.
Not Bernie B. Right.
The other Mrs. Boyd. Yeah. So congratulations. Congratulations for week 12.
Yeah, that was actually a good look right there. I think she did really good. What game was it?
The Atlanta game, which everybody missed, but and 2 other people got it right.
Think about it. Atlanta, for the last 2 weeks, they knocked off of division foes, right? They had a third division foe lined up, bullet in the chamber, ready to do it. I actually thought they were going to run the gamut in the NFC South. I thought they was going to run the table real quick, but you know.
Did you see a 34-3 beat down by the Jets?
Yeah.
Man, I didn't see that.
Yes. Did not see that coming.
You had to be extremely you had to have some hate for Atlanta if you picked against it.
Yeah. For real. Yeah. But here's the thing though. I think and we'll get into this as we get in deeper into the show. Look, I don't know. They were sleeping for the first part of the season, and then they kind of woke up and snapped off a win. It was against the Bucks, against the Panthers, right? It was the Saints and the Panthers, right?
Right.
So it was the Saints and the Panthers, right? So there's that thing. So before we get into the real stories, I just want to grab a couple of headlines and see how you guys feel about a couple different things. So we know that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to sit out Mason Rudolph for this week's festivities against the Cleveland Browns, right? And I don't know for good or bad. I don't know how y'all feel about that. I mean, your boy Duck. What is his name? Duck. What's his name?
Devlin Duck Hodges.
Duck Hodges is going to be taking the reign in that Browns game. How you feel about? What you think about that, Glass?
I see it 2 ways. Of course, it's trying to keep the game kosher. You don't want Mason Rudolph, and then they're trying to give blows to Mason Rudolph here and there. Yeah. And secondly, he wasn't playing that well in the first place. It seemed like the team was dealing with Hodges, so it doesn't hurt. You ain't losing nothing. What are they, 6-5, 5-6? Worth a try.
Yeah, JB, I just got a feeling that they put that boy in that football field. He's probably gonna get murdered out there, bro.
Probably. But I don't care. I think it's a great thing that both teams are in flux, and the Bengals hadn't won a game. It's just awesome. It's an awesome time to be a Raven right now.
And I think it's a little bit unfair. See, it'd have been one thing if you guys were doing the New England Patriots, Houston Texans thing, where let's throw the Dallas Cowboys in there too, right? Where the rest of the division just suck and y'all make mediocre, right? But it's different. Like the rest of the division going through turmoil. But man, I think Baltimore is looking for a challenge.
Well, we the only relevant thing out of, which is crazy. We the only relevant thing out of AFC North. So for the Steelers to be guessing, and the counterfeit Browns feel like they're somebody after 1 or 2 games, and then the Bengals hadn't done anything. It's just great. None of them teams are in the way. They still on the schedule, of course, but.
Yeah, whatever. But it is what. But I think how you feel about the game. I know we'll talk about it a little bit later in the show, but I know how you feel about the test this week against the Garoppolos.
It's. I guess they looking forward to it too. We'll find out what we at. We'll find out what
some people call
things will look like in December. So I mean,
they calling it a Super Bowl preview. What you think about that, Glass?
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. Everything. I mean, barring injuries, I can't see anything different.
Yeah, I like the way it looked. So let's just go ahead and check this out real quick. We're gonna go ahead and look at this little playoff picture real quick. It still look pretty much the same as it did the last time we looked at it. Still got Baltimore and England 2-1 respectively. Still hanging on to that 6th seed. Houston in there. I don't think we've seen no movement over there. Buffalo, Kansas City. That was the same last time we saw it, right? I think it was the same.
Same lineup, same 6.
I think it is, right? So and then
but see, I have to give credit's due. Oakland, they shocking me. I know they lost last week, but they got a 6-5 record. We didn't see that coming,
right?
And I think they got a pretty decent schedule finishing out, so they could take over the Steelers spot.
They could, and actually, if I look at this playoff picture as we quickly take a look at the NFC seeding, we got still the same thing: San Francisco, New Orleans. 1 and 2 respectively, Minnesota, Green Bay, Seattle, Dallas. The only 2, maybe 3 teams in that might be pretenders, right? Or maybe not as much of a contender as everybody else. That's probably that's my opinion, Glass. You tell me if you agree. Mm-hmm. Dallas, Buffalo, and Pittsburgh, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those are the 3, right? But the other ones, I think
you want to put Buffalo in there. They're 8-3, bro.
Well, the only reason why I'm putting Buffalo, I'm saying that they're pretenders, is because have we really seen them I just got to. We talk about playoff football, right?
Okay.
Is that what we're talking about? And do you trust them in the playoffs against this slate of teams that they got in the playoffs right now? I don't think they survived the first round. You know what I mean? I don't think so.
Well, you're gonna have a sacrificial lamb in the first round.
Yeah.
I think if anything, they might be the toughest out than anybody up here. Let's not forget they went toe to toe with New England.
It is.
I know playoffs and regular season are 2 different animals.
Right.
But you always gonna have the number 6. Let me know if y'all think different. The number 6 and number 5, the number 5 and 6 teams are the sacrificial lambs.
Yeah.
Just because that being said, I mean, I think any of these teams that's in the top gonna be a hard out.
I don't think so. I'm thinking that the state of Pittsburgh, I don't think they really got much to offer to the playoffs.
Okay,
I really don't.
But I can't put Buffalo in the same category as Pittsburgh.
Okay, and I mean, and I guess if we're talking about the Kansas City Chiefs, before the Mahomes injury. Maybe I have more confidence, but I would still think give them a better shot than Buffalo and Pittsburgh. That's all I'm saying. I give them a better shot, right?
I have to agree because at least Pittsburgh play defense,
right?
And they got good interior defense against the run. The Chiefs do not. They showed they was trying to mask it in their last out, and they did all right, but. A team that is predicated on running the ball first, they'll struggle because I don't think they can keep it up for the whole game.
Right, and on the other side, I guess I feel confident in Minnesota versus Dallas. I really don't have any confidence in Dallas, and one of the reasons why is because of what we're gonna get into in the next story is their coaching. They shaky. I mean, the quarterback is playing pretty good football right now. Their running back ain't living up to the deal that he just got. I don't know. My confidence in Dallas is ain't there right now.
All right, let me
Yeah.
throw a monkey wrench up in here.
Okay.
Now you tell me your pretenders out of this group that's playoffs now.
I just told you. I think it's Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Dallas.
Okay. We ain't gonna throw Houston up in there.
I'm not gonna throw Houston in there.
I'm gonna throw Houston up in there.
Yeah.
Nothing against the offensive side of the ball. It's the defensive side of the ball.
That's right.
They don't have no defense.
Well,
they don't have no run stoppers. Anything up in there other than Merciless.
Yeah.
And I think he just got injured last week.
Right.
And I don't trust their head coach O'Brien.
Okay, I think I can agree with those things, but I'm gonna tell you, I still got more confidence in Houston than I do in Pittsburgh. I just do. Like they don't even know they're going to do a quarterback right now. They don't even.
I have more confidence in Dallas than Houston. I mean, yeah, more confidence in Dallas than Houston.
Okay, what you think about that? You got more?
I don't like the fact that y'all putting Dallas as a fringe team. I mean, I know they're not they're not up there as clear cut as San Fran, but I mean they're not bottom feeders in this thing.
You don't think so? So when we look at what they've achieved this season, right? They in the NFC East, right? Which ain't nothing going on in the NFC East, nothing, right? Ain't nothing happening. Washington ain't doing nothing. The Giants ain't doing nothing. Philly playing around. Sometimes they want to play, sometimes they don't. So advantage Dallas, right? But we've seen what had happened every time Dallas lines up in front of somebody who can play, who got a slightly winning record. They get smashed, man.
They are a situational decision by the coach in big games and a play away. Yeah. They're a play away. They were a play away in New England.
It's not. I won't even blame the players. It's definitely for the coach.
Oh, definitely the coach. Definitely the coach. I think so. But the coach and I mean maybe we got a unmotivated running back. I don't know. Or maybe they just his time to dominate the NFL at the running back position. Then they got so much film on him now he can't really do all that.
I don't think so. I think if you watch Dallas in big games or any game, when somebody else take the responsibility to make a football decision in the crunch time or winning time, they come through. Yeah. But when it's up to this one Garrett, when he's got the decision to make, he usually play down or play scared. And they usually typically lose in the moment. Yeah. So, but listen though, I'd rather lose by not having better players than the team than to get out coach, because that's embarrassing.
Oh, it's definitely embarrassing. You asked Bill Belichick about that. Because that's what happened to him in the Super Bowl, right? Right. What they put him in the 100 greatest coaches of all time, Bill Belichick, and when he get blown up like that in the Super Bowl by Doug Peterson. I mean, it only happened once, but it did happen, and for somebody like a Jason Garrett, it's happening far too frequently, right? So that's one of the main reasons why the confidence level I have in Dallas. I think they only there because they know competition in their division. You can't say the same thing for even like New England, like Buffalo was there. See what I'm saying? Like Buffalo is still hanging around. Normally, New England will step on up in there. Houston, actually for the first time in a while, they got competition in their division, right? KC, I don't know what's going on out there, but it's a little bit weird out that way. But I don't know. Dallas though, that's the one that seemed a little weird. And I guess while we're talking about it, New Orleans, right? They got the Panthers who ain't doing so hot, Falcons who ain't doing so hot, and the Tampa Bay Bucks are the only team that might want to give them a challenge here or there. I don't know.
So what you saying?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like teams who ain't really got no competition in their division. That's all.
But you have to understand that just because there's a down year in their respective division, right. I mean that's only 6 games. You got to play outside of it.
Oh, I mean,
exactly.
Yeah,
and so and I mean, you look at New Orleans, you look at the Ravens, you look at the Patriots, you look at the Cowboys. I mean, it's a benefit. Yeah. You still got to play them games. And if I'm mistaken, it was 40-25 last time the Ravens looked past the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, but the point with the playoffs though, the wins and losses matter, and it don't matter the caliber, the quality, right? That's what I'm saying. Like the quality of win and loss don't matter. It's the win and loss that matters.
If you want to make your opinion on down years, you guys, Atlanta just took out the Saints and the Panthers.
I know.
Back weeks. No. So I mean, when it comes to divisional play, the records go out the window. You still gotta play now. Advantage Patriots because the Dolphins are in the sweepstakes. Yeah. Buffalo gonna try to give them all they got, and the Jets they just don't. They don't even look good on paper.
Right. So I don't know. I think I don't. So let me ask you guys before we move on. Do you think that because that's a log jam at 6-5 in the NFC? There's it's a little bit of space, a little bit of parity in the AFC side of things, but it's a little bit of a logjam on the NFC side, around 6-5, around in that area. It's a couple of people who can make a move. And, I was joking on Twitter the other day, and I was like, the Panthers still got a chance. Technically, they do, though, right? I mean, we need a lot of help from some other people. Need to fall off a little bit, but they're still alive. That's what I'm saying. I mean, do I think Carolina gonna make the play? Probably not, but they still alive. But at everything that we look at on this paper here, though, do you guys see any movement? Do you think by the time we lock it in 4 weeks, is this what we're gonna get, or do we see something different?
If anything, I would say Pittsburgh is a holding pattern. You don't know what they're gonna do, how they're gonna finish off. Yeah. If anybody gonna drop, I'm gonna say Houston. Anybody on the NFC side, I'm gonna say Dallas.
You think it's theirs to lose?
Not drop out the playoffs, but drop a couple of drop down to 6.
Yeah, it's theirs to lose. They control it. But
exactly.
To lose.
Exactly. Now I'm gonna put you like this. I went back and forth with Kane and Ice today.
Yeah.
He talking about Philadelphia got a chance to make it to the playoffs. I said, hell no, with a 5-6 record. But if you look at their schedule, they should be able to run over the last 14.
They should be able to, yeah.
So they might. I'm gonna say they have a chance, but I can't see Seattle, Minnesota, or Dallas losers.
I don't think so either.
I would say San Francisco need to stay in their review for the Seahawks.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
They could change quick.
Yes. And I also feel like with the way the Patriots, way they look in the last couple of weeks, I got a feeling they're gonna end up losing that number 1 seed. And that's bad news. And I'm gonna tell you right now, Glass, that's bad news for New England. If New England loses the number 1 seed, they will not. It don't matter because they're not making it to the Super Bowl anyway. I'm just saying, right? But if they lose that number 1 seed, it's over for them. It is a done deal.
I can't say that. If they lose their number 1 seed, they drop down to number 2. They still got the first.
Well, okay. Right. You're right. So that's safe.
But you won't draw that top AFC team to your house like they normally do.
Right.
That's what they want.
Yeah, that's exactly what they want. So I mean, but that offense is so shaky right now, man. I don't know. I just don't trust them. I don't trust them at all. So Josh is saying we're gonna see y'all in the AFC, JB. I would not want that.
You already saw us, and it didn't work out well for you.
Look, if I'm the
if it wasn't for Bill Belichick looking deep into his playbook, you stole one in Dallas.
Oh, absolutely.
And they laid a stinker underwhelming performance in Philly game before that. So hey, man.
Hey, if I'm a Patriots fan, I don't want no smoke from Baltimore. I don't want none of that. In fact, if I'm anybody, no, especially not the Patriots, because that's what it looked like was going to end up happening. I thought maybe they're going to end up having to face off again, but it looked like that ain't gonna go down. So be all right. So that'd be all right. He said
there's teams in the AFC that's jockeying for a playoff position that feel confident they can beat the Patriots.
Oh yeah.
And I hear what Josh is saying. You sit here looking at Baltimore. You need to keep your eyes on Buffalo.
Yeah,
that's right.
Absolutely.
And the Steelers want another shot. They want another shot. They opened the season and it was bad. Yeah. Okay, but they want another shot.
I don't give Steelers a chance at the Pats with they got.
But they play defense.
They do play defense. Yeah. He says the Pats got a lot of broken things on offense. But the playoff pass is a different beast. Check your history books. Hey, look, man.
That's all fair. And if you're looking at that same history book, we done went up there and beat y'all.
I know.
We done beat you up there twice.
And I mean, and then they had to dig and do some dirty tactics to get up out of Indianapolis one year.
That's right.
I'm just saying, I would be careful about that kind of stuff too.
We done been in there and been up 14 points 3 times. Of course,
hey, Josh, you have that same energy come around playoffs. I want you to
If there's a team out there that's not scared of the Patriots, you better believe
they ain't got the same luster no more. They definitely ain't got the same kind of luster. They don't. I'm just saying, especially if they can't score no more than 10 points. They've been averaging 13 points for 3 weeks.
Yep.
And I'm just saying That don't
We'll
sound
come
like
up there. We'll come up there and get y'all, man.
Right.
We'll come up there and get y'all.
Explain the 13-9 win over Dallas last week.
Right. You know,
At your house.
Hey, and then the Julian Edelman, if Brady did go, he didn't throw the touchdown pass.
Right.
Julian Edelman had to throw the pass.
13 ain't gonna get you no win in the Super Bowl.
13 ain't going. Yep.
And it ain't gonna get you. It ain't even.
Every time you see Josh McDaniels go to that halfback fleet, they checkmate it.
Yeah, look,
that's when they desperate.
Look, 13 points won't even get you the lead in the first quarter against the Baltimore Ravens. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, bro.
You'll get that in trash time. It'd be like 45-13.
Absolutely, right.
That's all you're gonna put up.
But we'll see what happens. Look, because of the situation, the Patriots probably gonna have a playoff berth. But are they gonna go in at number one, or are they gonna go in at number two? I don't think they're going at number one. But like number two ain't gonna really change much. But they get eliminated the first team they run up against. Because I mean, if we look at it, like the teams that are in there right now, I don't trust the Pats against any one of those teams. Maybe, and it's gonna sound crazy. Maybe the Steelers. If they feed the Steelers to them, they'll advance, right?
Now to Josh's point, it's been a lot of years. The Patriots they said this and that about them.
Yeah, they did.
They didn't have this. They couldn't run. They didn't play D. They had to outscore people, and they ended up winning the Super Bowl. So you can't, they got the best coach. He'll come up with something to bypass their weakness.
Yeah.
Of course, you got to play that team for the whole game. Now, some teams may have an answer, but they won't do it for 60 minutes.
I just don't think
13, get out of there.
13 ain't gonna get it done. 13 just ain't gonna work. I need a little bit more than 13 points, man. Especially this time of year. 13 just ain't gonna. All right,
let me ask y'all this since we're talking about the Patriots.
Yeah.
Sorry, Josh. Do we consider Tom Brady elite still?
Not right now. If we're talking about right now, no.
Right now,
I don't care about the previous games where y'all got in mind that he struggled in. They won. So they 10-1. So yeah.
Was it because of him or was it because of the defense?
It don't make no difference, man.
I mean,
ain't hurting the team.
Is he a detriment to the? Do you think if they had Jimmy Garoppolo right now, that they'll be in the situation that they're in right now?
They'd be in trouble.
You think so?
Oh hell yeah!
That's something to think about. I'll put a poll up. We'll see.
Nah, Brady doesn't say Brady ain't no. He's been playing way too long to know. In a game like this, with it's a defensive battle. Yeah. You don't hurt the team. You don't get greedy. You don't try to do something.
It's all good. Right?
I understand that. JB. But I guess my question is, what my definition of elite is: will you be able to put the team on your back and carry it? I think
Brady, if he see opportunities to score, like they got that block punt, they knew they was in the red zone. They had to work to get there the whole rest of the game. You that close, you have to score.
I mean, as long as you got 12 out there, you got a shot, man. If you got, as long as you got there, you got a shot. I'm just saying. But do I have as my? I don't know.
He knew that play broke the game, and it was early, but that play right there that's what broke it. He knew it. Yeah.
So I don't know.
You can't get Kyle Allen to make that play, Jameis Winston to make that play. They're not going to make that play.
No, they don't have enough experience under the belt to even think like that. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but we'll see. It's interesting to see how the Patriots season is going to end. I want to see it, but as we move on, so we got 4 weeks of football left, regular season, I think. I think that's about right. I know for you, it's time for you, Glass, to start bringing your little dump truck around and collecting people's stuff. And as what you said, the Bengals are done already, right?
Bengals are already eliminated.
Right. So you got the Bengals, and the next one will probably be Washington. Will probably be next, right?
Yep.
Miami
and the Giants.
Okay, so there you go. So on that note, we're gonna talk about some of these coaches, man. So this is around the time of year. Well, first of all, I don't think we're gonna see nobody. I don't think we're gonna lose nobody.
Till the end of the year.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna lose nobody in these 4 weeks. I don't think so, right? I don't think we gotta worry about that. I don't think so. But we gonna see though. We gonna see. Let me. So where you want to start? I guess we can start with. Let's start with New York Giants, right? So we got Pat Shermer, right? This thing is his first season. It's his first and second season.
No,
it's the second season. So by it being the second season, that makes it seem a little bit hotter than normal because you usually get a pass on your first season. But a lot of things that have happened with that franchise it's kind of been beyond his control. There's been a lot of stuff that's been going on that he ain't got nothing to do with. Trading away assets and things like that, putting themselves at a disadvantage by only having one star player and rolling the dice with the rookie quarterback when they went ahead and dismissed Eli early in the season, right? So you get what you get, right? That's what we had. No Odell. Barkley was down for what, 4 weeks this season? 4 or 5 weeks?
Yep.
And you ain't bringing in nothing. What you got? Golden Tate, is it, right? And he was missing for like 3 or 4 weeks in the beginning of the season as well.
Yep.
So this is what you get, JB. So we're talking about putting Pat Shermer on the chopping block. What say you?
No, I think that back to Dave Gettleman trading away stock.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And which is, as that ain't really a coincidence or a happenstance. That's his track record. He did it every way he went. He came to Carolina with that same attitude, trying to get addition by subtract. It don't work, man. So I think that fella that's head coach in the New York he gonna be a victim of Gettleman's logic.
Oh, absolutely. And and Glass, because we've done like Black and Blue podcasts around it. I was a staunch defender of Dave Gettleman, even a bunch of that crazy crap that he did here in Carolina. But man, when I see him go up to New York and continue the same trend without even, I don't know, man. I just think like the talent is very limited to begin with, right? In New York, you got an Asian quarterback, right? You got a rookie quarterback, but you start dealing away assets right off the bat. You know what I mean? Like, and now you're playing on like a super thin depth chart. Barkley goes down, you screwed. Golden Tate ain't played for the first 5 weeks, you're screwed. You got a rookie quarterback in there, you're screwed, right? What you think about this, man?
I agree with JB. It starts with Gettleman. Pat Shermer is just collateral damage.
Yeah, I
don't believe he will get fired this year. He's gonna have one more season today. Did they figure out what they're gonna do? Gettleman, he can't be trusted because you just got through saying you wasn't gonna get rid of OBJ. You just paid him all this money.
Yeah,
and a week or two later you get rid of him.
Yeah,
I got rid of all the key defensive players. You just left with a shell of a team. Like you say, Eli Manning, he old.
Yeah.
I guess that's their golden child. And I agree. I give Pat Shermer some credit. He went to the office, told him, like, I want to make a switch. Eli's done. So I think with that being said, Pat Shermer going to stay. We just got to see what Gettleman got up his sleeve for next season.
Yeah. I also think the players when Gettleman got there, they was like, I'm out.
Oh yeah,
There's a lot of guys that's wanted out of there, and they probably heard the direction the team was going to go in, and talk about benching the GOAT Eli Manning and drafting a quarterback. Yes. Now maybe guys stuck around to see who actually got drafted, but when it was Daniel Jones, they was like, hell no.
Right. And the minute he showed up, Beckham was like, I know it's me. I know he looking at me because like who else can you trade away? You can't trade away nobody. You ain't trading Eli.
But you think about it though, Q.
He knew it was him.
Why would you bench and trade away your most marketable assets for the franchise? The owner shouldn't have let that happen. No. That's how you put butts in seats. Who they coming to see? Barkley?
Yeah. I mean,
Sterling Shepard, is that
right?
He said he did that to change the culture of the team, which I think is bogus.
It's definitely bogus.
You let me know what your makeup is, then we'll work on.
Listen, if Cleveland went so stupid, they would look that trade would have looked even more ridiculous. But because Cleveland is dumb and they didn't use Odell Beckham Jr. the way they were supposed to, I think he got away with it. You know what I'm saying, right? But I think if Cleveland had used him the correct way, Gettleman would have looked like an idiot for doing that.
But listen, the way they dictated the trade, they weren't going. First of all, they weren't going to trade him to somebody in the NFC.
Right.
They weren't going there. They specifically said Buffalo or Cleveland, so they wanted Odell Beckham. Maybe it was personal, Maybe. But at the same time, they got zero. They got no real value in return.
They didn't. Well, they got Jabril Peppers and. What's they got? They got Jabril Peppers and somebody else.
Okay, so Jabril Peppers from Cleveland Browns for Landon Collins.
Yeah,
stop. That's not even smart.
Put somebody on defense, right?
That's personal.
And then we saw how the Falcons started off. They couldn't get nothing going. I think this is Dan Quinn's third season, or is this his third season? I want to say it's his third season. And after did he go to the Super Bowl? It's fourth.
Fourth.
Yeah, because he went to Super Bowl in the second year, right?
Exactly.
Okay,
right.
So that bought him some time. But then he comes to the table with this BS this year, JB. And I'm just saying, the folk in Atlanta ain't feeling it, right? And I think with Shanahan being there the last couple of years, covered up a lot of this nonsense that Dan Quinn, because he came down and talking about how Mike Smith was soft and and they weren't tough enough on defense. He was going to toughen them up, and they ain't won nothing yet, JB. Since a trip to the Super Bowl in your second season, but that was with Shanahan as the OC. Now that he's gone, Quinn been exposed. What you think about this?
Well, I mean, he got a pass for the Super Bowl season, and they were decimated by injuries last year. So They got everybody back. I don't know. Maybe it's lazy. They don't want to change the game plan. Belichick already told coaches about 5 years ago. Most coaches don't change what they're doing. Depends on, I mean, from who they play, game to game. They playing this team. This is what they did last time they had success. So they'll keep it. Belichick blow them out.
Yeah.
Because they were too lazy to change signals, game plan. Some of the cadence was the same, everything. So maybe that's the case. I don't understand why they're losing.
I don't understand why. And he's supposed to be a defensive-minded coach. And we saw the stuff that he did in Seattle, Glass. We saw what that defense, he created the Legion of Boom, right?
Right.
This was his stuff. And we thought we was going to get a recreation of that and down here, down south, but it didn't materialize. And I really believe that if it wasn't for Kyle Shanahan's offense, that the Falcons would have been nowhere near that.
I think you got something, Q, because you just don't Julio Jones just don't disappear.
No. You ain't heard him.
Devontae Freeman is healthy. They got Ridley there. You might have.
Listen, Jimmy, these dudes was putting up 300 and 250 yards per game on people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I ain't heard nothing from Julio. Sorry, Glass. Go ahead.
No problem. I think the defense, the defense complemented the offense. We know what we had when Shanahan was over there. They had a nice little thing going on. Shanahan, I'm gonna put you like this. I think Shanahan felt a certain type of way of how that Super Bowl ended.
Right.
I put up all these points.
Yeah.
And come second half, you can't hold these people down. Not saying he couldn't put no points on the board, but we had enough space where we could have held them down. They couldn't get beat. As you can tell now, since you got San Francisco, they got their foot on people's throats. They ain't trying to let up on them because he learned from that Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
Right. That being said, I think then they brought in Sarkisian.
They brought in Sarkisian, yeah, they did.
That was the mistake right there, because there's no way in the world, just like JB said, Julio Jones don't catch a touchdown pass for damn near 8 games.
Right, that's ridiculous.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So I won't say Quinn's job is deputy this year,
right?
But they need to change the coordinator that's halfway decent, know how to utilize the weapons that they have. If not, next year will be his time.
Well, the writing on the wall with Coleman wanting out and Sanu leaving late.
Right. So that's what we're saying. That's the new late trade kind of still. It just don't sit right with me, right? It feel like the rats are jumping off the ship before it goes down. That's what it feel like to me.
Yeah.
And it also feel like they know that Quinn is in his 4th season, and you know what that means. They're just not going to re-up him. They're just going to be like, nah, we're going to go in a different direction. You know what I mean? I don't know. But
see, my question with this, okay, if you make the moves, and I don't know if people think far enough in advance, okay, you get rid of your coach, but do you have a coaching line that's up in there?
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people
you don't think they've thought about this in 13 weeks after seeing how their team started 0-7 or 0-8 or whatever it was?
You know you got to have somebody. You got to have some in your back pocket before you make that move.
Absolutely, right? Absolutely. So,
but for the fairness, the league has got offensive line problems league wide. I don't think they making offensive linemen in high school and college like they used to, because it really ain't never been healthy to weigh that much playing a sport.
Man, you know what I think it is, JB, with the linemen. I think linemen are getting tired of not getting the shine, and I think players, young kids, they want to be in a flashy position. And nobody wants to be an old lineman, man. They just don't want to do it.
Well, I mean, I think they got to be remade. The model of it got to be remade. Remember when defensive linemen were just as big as offensive linemen. Now they're, they slimmer. They for speed reasons. And I think the offensive linemen gonna have to come off the 360, 350 style linemen. And you'll probably start seeing more.
Yeah. So we move on to Doug Marrone in Jacksonville, Glass. And this is the only thing I would say about this situation is that 2 years ago, we were thinking that the Jags was going to make a Super Bowl run. and
Correct.
they have been nothing of the sort lately, right? I mean, they had the number one defense in the league last year, I think it was, right? Finishing up the season last year. And man, they've been getting treated like they were nobody so far this season. And also think that with the talent that they got down there, before everybody started running off into all these separate directions, because it's about that time for a lot of people, I think they need to, if they can keep everybody there and get a new coach in there, I think the message is being lost. I think Doug Marrone's message ain't landing, Jake. I don't feel like, I mean, because think about how hyped them boys were last year, and then they ain't no energy coming out of Jacksonville this year. Hey.
I think it wasn't last year, Big Q. I think it was a year before.
Yeah.
Last year they played like crap too.
Yeah.
But they had injuries.
Right.
I don't think Marrone is the coach for that team.
Right.
You know that when they had that run, they had the defense, but they didn't have the quarterback.
Right.
Now I think they have the quarterback, but all the pieces that they needed either got traded or went on a free agency. They got the quarterback. Need to get their coach and move on from there. I think they still got a chance to make moves, benefit them in the next 2 years, but they got to get rid of that coach.
They do, but I never really had a lot of confidence in the teams that get behind a journeyman quarterback instead of bringing their own up. Like the only time I really seen that really pay off was like with Denver. They brought in Manning and they rode him to the Super Bowl. But I can't really think of no other time that it happened like that. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how much that play in it, JB. I don't know, having your own guy or bringing in a journeyman. Like I don't know if it makes a difference, but I just don't really see a lot of times teams getting to the promised land with a journeyman at quarterback instead of their own.
Nah, man, it depends. Depends if it's a obvious need,
right? Yeah,
folk, foes would definitely be a immediate fix if that was like the obvious need, but. We still don't know what was said to Jalen Ramsey to make him want out. Like he was stubbornly wanting out of it. He wouldn't come. Even the owner was trying to, have a heart-to-heart with him, and they couldn't come to whatever was said. So this front office, this person in the front office, obviously left a bad taste in a lot of guys' mouth.
Yeah.
Is it Coughlin?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so whatever. He's the poison. He's the one that just because they were on top.
Yeah,
I mean,
they were. Yeah, they were. But at the end of the day, do you like? Because I don't know what Marrone is at in this kind. I think he's getting ready near the end of his contract anyway.
Yeah.
So you got to do something. Do you offer him an extension, or do you offer do you use like an option on him or something? I mean, but something got to be done.
He's going to be the one to move because I can't see Coughlin get rid of Foles because Foles seemed like the type of quarterback that he liked to have in the system. Right. I ain't going to say here Eli Manning, but he's close to it.
Yes.
I think they'll lose more players next season. I think Fournette, I could just see disgust on like he don't want to be there.
Right.
A lot of guys gonna bail out of Jacksonville. They're gonna go back to what they always been.
That's gonna be something else, man. But I don't know. I think that's what it's gonna be. I think he'd probably be the first one to get announced. It'll probably be Doug Marrone.
Okay.
He'd probably be the first one, right? And then this one is interesting. Another failed experiment coming out of New England, right? Mr. Matt Patricia and his third season as the head coach of the Detroit Lions. Is that right?
I feel so. I feel it's third.
I feel like it's his third.
Could be third. Okay.
I feel like it's his third. But man, really, he owned it. Who was the coach last before he got there? It wasn't Caldwell, was it? Was it Caldwell?
It was Caldwell.
I don't really feel like nothing changed. Like they didn't change anything. Like I thought Matt Patricia would bring that, New England defense style to Detroit, but I don't know, man.
Hey, Q.
Yeah.
You tell me a head coach. I take that back.
Yeah.
It might be Vrabel, but you tell me a head coach that left the Belichick tree and was successful.
Well, they all done came back home, right? Some McDaniels left and came back, and they leave and they come back. But Vrabel is doing okay, but this is only his second season, right?
Right.
So and then there's some questions there too, but he ain't on this list. But I'm saying it's some things that he got to get right. But I don't know what it is. How can you be in the? And that's why. And we'll never figure this will be a mystery that's going to be in the NFL annals for the rest of the life. But I always want to know, what is it about that system that's so successful when you're in New England, but when you leave, you can't take it with you. Like
Right,
nobody's been able to replicate that success. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo was like right here. You know what I mean? But who else, JB?
Let me jump in front of you, JB, real quick. You know what it is? You leave out the Belichick system thinking you Belichick, and when you get to your new team, unless you're winning,
right.
if you come with that Belichick stern self, them players ain't gonna listen to you.
Right.
Like, dude, this ain't New England.
Yeah.
You ain't showing me a winning culture, so to hell with you.
I just ain't seen it nowhere. I haven't seen it. I mean, especially with Josh McDaniels, like he went to Denver, man. They treated him like a joke out there.
Yeah, I think it's like when Jordan was when Phil Jackson was at the Bulls in basketball, Nick Saban went Alabama, and Belichick. You win over a certain amount of time. The teams come in playing the logo instead of the actual game. So that's why it worked. They already got you with the respect level. You're already scared to death, and once they sense that you plan not to get blown out instead of win, then they do things to you. So of course, when you go somewhere else, that team ain't got that same respect as teams already confident getting off the plane.
Yeah, but I can understand the difference between Josh McDaniels and Matt Patricia. But I thought Matt Patricia, like when he was in New England, he looked like a carbon copy. He looked like Bill Belichick Jr. before Bill Belichick Jr. became a coach. You know what? I thought Matt Patricia was going to be the one to continue that legacy outside of New England. It just ain't never materialized. It ain't never happened. Like Bill Belichick can take whatever he has that year, and he's gonna make some moves, and he's gonna figure some stuff out. But man, listen, the team is averaging 13 points a game in the last 4 or 5 games, but they still ain't lost but one game. You know what I'm saying, right? So if you're a coach who's been with Bill Belichick through all of that, JB, and a Matt Patricia, right? Why can't you pull that off?
The respect level ain't there for the team. You ain't won enough. You know what I'm saying? I just think about this: if you're reputable, if you want to be reputable at anything, you cannot have a bad loss early.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Your quarterback go down with broken bones in his lower back and all this. You take a loss to Tampa Bay or the Bengals give you a hard game.
Yeah.
Team's gonna get off the plane the next week and be like, man, we can beat them.
Right. Right.
When they get off the plane in New England, they like, oh man, I don't know what the hell they expect from this team.
Right. So what you think about Glass? What you think about Matt Patricia, man? It's only its second or third season. You know, Detroit will put up with some stuff for a while. You know, I mean, it ain't like they're getting blown all the way out. What they won like 4 or 5 games and so far this season, right?
Right.
I don't know.
I think they got it. I don't think Patricia's gonna leave. I think they like what he's showing. He's showing glimpses.
Yeah.
Just so happens he's in the division where you get the Bears. Well, last year Bears, the Packers and the Vikings. That's pretty more formidable than the Lions. But I get if you bring in the right people, right players, right system. I ain't gonna say the Belichick system where it'll work for you. He'll have a chance. So I think they're gonna give him. He's gonna slide out of the hot seat for this season.
I think so. All right, now it's time to kick in the controversy, Glass. Ron Rivera. This has been Ron Rivera done caught turmoil and controversy for the last 2 seasons, right? Man, it's not been a good look for him. Now, granted, I really can't make no excuses for him this year. I mean, look, I know he lost his quarterback, right? But man, you brought in the rookie that got you 3 wins in a row, right? 4 wins in a row, something like that.
Right.
You know, salvaged your season for the most part. But for whatever reason, Ron Rivera finds himself on this list. I don't know. You know me, I can go on and on about it, but I'm gonna get y'all's thoughts on it. JP, what you think about Ron being on this list?
I don't think it's totally warranted because, you know, you lost your star quarterback, even though now we're talking about this season in particular or this things that he rode rode to the wheels fall off in the past. I don't think he's a very good coach because I think Cam Newton hit a lot of idiosyncrasies. But as far as like him actually having to coach this year without all the things that made it easy for him, like Thomas Davis being there and Cam Newton being there,
and all that. Everything's working.
It looked bad. I mean, he don't become Riverboat Ron without the players backing him. To make that happen. So he actually having to coach games now, and he don't look to be very confident.
You know, this is the thing that and I don't want to get on the soapbox with Ron Rivera, but the thing that been bugging me for the last 3, maybe 4 years is the lack of accountability. This whole missed opportunities, everything was a missed opportunity. Like for him, you get blown out. Who we got blown out by? Was it San Francisco? Get blown out by San Francisco, and there was a bunch of missed opportunities. Yeah, do you think you get beat 52-13 or whatever the score was? Obviously, you miss some opportunities, but nothing ever comes out of it. It's like, yeah, we missed some opportunities, but then they come out next week and it's the same stuff. And for me, I don't want to see Ron go. I think he's one of the best coaches that this franchise has seen, right? But I just feel like, or like you said, JB, without the cogs working in his favor, covering up stuff and making him have to actually do his job.
Right.
When you got Luke Kuechly out there leading the league in tackles, and you got, Josh Norman leading the league in interception, and Cam breaking every quarterback rushing record known to man, and Thomas Davis, being the number one linebacker. It's easy. You take
behind Pro Bowlers, an MVP quarterback.
Yes.
Now you got another guy, McCaffrey, who you can see that he's going to ride McCaffrey to the wheels fall.
Absolutely.
Same way this is Cam Newton's career is in jeopardy because of Ron Rivera.
Yeah, I think so.
You put your MVP, Pro Bowl, all-pro guys out there to keep doing this for you over and over, and all of a sudden they just get shopped out, hurt.
Yep.
Now he's got a coach with less than stellar players.
So I don't know, man. I'm like I said, I want your take, but I think he's the best coach the franchise has seen. But man, sometimes though, man, like you can't keep doing the same stuff, man. You know what I mean? But what you think? What you think about it?
I think Ron Rivera gonna keep his job there for another year. I don't understand why people want his job. Who you gonna get it to replace him?
Right.
He's only doing what he's known to do. Yeah, ride players to the wheels fall off.
Yeah,
that's his MO.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey saved his job this year.
Yep, it sure did.
I guess until you find out what you're gonna do with Cam, we still don't know what they're gonna do with Cam.
Yeah.
You got to keep Rivera there to see how next year is gonna be. I hear what you're saying. With the defense, how they was a couple of years ago, making it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be truthful with y'all. When Super Bowl runs, your windows are really short.
Yeah, they are.
So if you can't make stuff happen in the next, all right, 2 years or a year after that, you got to find another way because that ain't gonna work anymore. Right. It just goes to show, other than the Patriots.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Any other team can't do
Broncos,
that.
The
Broncos,
the Rams
Falcons,
Rams,
Falcons, all of them. So it's like, especially the Rams.
Oh yeah.
We thought what's his name? Sean
McVay. Sean
McVay was boy genius.
Oh yeah.
He don't look like a genius right now.
No, because we got tape. So I'm saying we got tape.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So, but I don't know. I think him and Cam, to your point, Glass, I think they joined at the hip. They came into the team together, and they probably gonna lead together. You know what I mean? I think if Cam is not a Panther next year, Ron won't be a Panther next year either. That's what I believe. But I think they both are returning though. I think they both will. I think they still have to prove that, because basically like you wouldn't be able to shut the chapter off because it ended so abrupt. Oh, your quarterback was hurt. It would have been if I had my quarterback. You don't never know. You got to find out. You know what I mean?
Here's the problem. What I got with Coach Rivera. Okay, before Cam Newton's YouTube video admitting that he was hiding the injury, et cetera, et cetera, I'm sure he told Ron played him anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what you do, man.
Right.
If you're the head coach of the team, you make that decision before the inevitable.
Right.
Okay. I remember Charles Johnson playing hurt. I remember Peppers playing hurt. I remember Davis playing hurt. I remember
Olsen.
Kuechly got Olsen playing hurt.
Yeah.
Kuechly rushed back after multiple concussions.
Yeah.
Come on. That is not that's not what you do. So if you're looking for a glaring weakness that they need to move off Rivera, it is that.
You can look at it a different way because you just was talking about the Belichickian coaches and how dudes would run through a brick wall for Belichick, but they won't do it for Vrabel and
right.
But apparently these Panther players are going to play with nubs. For Ron Rivera, they don't play for him. I don't know.
When you're dealing with Marty Hurney?
Marty Hurney, yeah.
Okay, if you're dealing with Marty and Gettleman, you can't afford to not be on the field because he'll trade you away behind your back.
Hell yeah. If
your injury longer than 6 weeks, you got to hurry the hell up and get back out there because you never know.
You do, man. I don't know. I like Ron's coaching style. I like the fact that he's a motivator and that, for good or bad, Jimmy, I know the way you painted it made it seem like, he got people out there killing themselves, but he can motivate players to play. Cam did not want to sit down. I knew it was going to take a lot to make Cam not suit up, because that dude he was going to play. But and Olsen and all the rest of them, they wanted to play.
You cannot have your number one guy.
Yeah.
The one person that took it to Super Bowl that made your coaching career relevant, number one, who made the Panthers relevant after that's a big gap between Steve Smith and Delhomme and what Cam was able to do.
Oh, absolutely.
Man, I don't care what he was. I don't. You gotta protect players from themselves. If you ever play the sport, you want to be out there. Even if you half of yourself, you still feel like you're better than most. You're that caliber guy.
That you absolutely, I agree with all of that, and I think that is 100% true, Glass. But is that can we is that a fireable offense? Is that a detriment to being a head coach, or is that an asset? I mean, like, what how do we look at that? I don't know.
Look at what?
What JB just said. It's like basically JB saying that Ron Rivera is killing his players. That's what he's saying.
That's his MO. Right. He gonna ride you until you are no longer useful.
Right.
So I mean, is that a fireable offense? No, because he's not the first coach. He won't be the last.
I figured he's just doing his job, and he's doing what they paid him to do, was motivate grown men.
Thomas Davis gave 2 knees. He played the Super Bowl with a sewn up, plated, broken arm. You gotta protect your guys, man. You gotta. Hey, listen, Cam Newton took that headshot that the refs didn't call. Cam Newton right back. Remember that headshot?
Look, dude, you
come on, man.
You are telling. Look, I don't disagree with nothing you're saying. It's just weird hearing you spin it that way, though. I never heard it that way before. Oh, Ron Rivera is killing. Anyway, to the last one.
It was gruesome. That guy was fresh off the surgery table with a broken, plated up, sewn up arm.
So now
playing the Super Bowl.
So now Ron Rivera,
hell no, shut it down.
So now Ron Rivera is a villain. He's a heel now because his guys want to play for him with plates in their forearms and 2 ACLs.
Isn't that what you want?
But JB is vilifying the man for it now.
Yeah, because if you don't put the pressure on him of if you don't get back out there. That's got to be Rivera's logic, because look what they want to push Cam Newton out of town because of a flash in the pan.
Right.
Out of here. Yeah. Cam Newton basically had to suck it up after an unsuccessful shoulder surgery.
Yeah.
To try to put on and stay to keep his job.
Yeah, I believe that.
And they allow this.
I don't think it's a fireable offense, Jay. But I think David Tepper looks at that and is like, you know what? I'm glad I got this guy. But maybe you need to dial it back a little bit, right? Just dial it back a little bit. Like,
that's all it is.
Right.
Okay, well then let's go to an X's and O's standpoint. How you bring in that guy that missed all these winnable field goals and you didn't work him out? You didn't see this in tryouts?
Right.
Well, you didn't see this? You didn't see the inconsistency? Is this all? You didn't even look deeper than that? Come on, man.
So now we're gonna fire him because he had a bad kicker.
That's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of in-game situation. Okay, when we finally found out Cam had a Liz Frank injury, right? But he didn't take the dive over the pile like he normally would on the 1 or 2 or 3 yard line. Okay, the play that they called, that's questionable as hell with me. If you got an MVP running back.
Well, not to get into all that, but I'm just saying, like you said before, Ron knew that Cam was hurt.
Let's get into challenges and timeouts.
We watching the game.
You've seen them.
Watching the game. We knew everybody watching the game knew something was up. Why did they run this stupid play? And they ran it because that man knew his quarterback was hurt and he couldn't make that play. So you pitch it over to your running back and you hope he can get it done.
No, they passed the ball, or they did some type of.
Well, he kind of was like
some kind of wildcat play.
Right. Yeah. Okay, I digress. But JB.
No, JB
don't like Ron Rivera. He won't Ron Rivera.
Is that what it
is? It ain't personal. I'm just saying. Listen, I would say the same thing about Jason Garrett. Yeah. I would say the same thing about a lot of coaches that just don't understand situational football. Okay, what's your depth like? Right. Why are you still got? That means that you didn't do nothing depth-wise if you got guys out here playing with broken arms and fresh play. I mean, I know you couldn't do nothing to keep Davis on the sideline for the Super Bowl, but you got to be able to say, hey, man, you're going to be limited. It's going to be a snap count.
Maybe dial it back and limit it. He could have been smarter with it. I mean, but I don't know, man. I feel like, if you can fire them dudes up like that, to me, that's a detriment. I want that guy on my sideline.
There's the threat of turnover. If you don't come out here, if you can't play, look what you tried to do to Kelechi Osemele. They say, man, your shoulder ain't that bad. Get your ass out here.
Right.
He was like, hell no,
Right,
I'm gonna go
right,
have surgery and
right.
I'm out of here.
Right.
That's what you
Right.
gotta do. That's what you're supposed to do.
Well,
Yeah.
so clearly JB thinks Ron Rivera should be fired. I think him and Cam both come back next year, and I don't know.
You can't do your players that kind of disservice, and
Right.
then don't even go to the podium to defend Cam and say put all the rumors to bed. You don't do that. You didn't do it. You didn't do it.
Well,
so Cam Newton is no more service to you in your career. You want him out.
Yeah.
Got Thomas Davis up out of there.
Yeah.
And stop.
Okay, I'm
That
moving
guy
on.
right there is
I'm moving on.
soft.
The last one, get glasses. We got to get glasses about here. It's Jason Garrett. Which, look, you know, I've been calling for it since mid-season. I think we finally get into it because I think Jerry Jones is finally
Fed up.
It's done. I think he the excuses he can't make up no more excuses for this man, and things are just not working out. The sad part about it is that a lot of people don't know this, but I think Jerry Jones got what's the man's name from college? Is it Urban Meyer? Who's the college coach who expressed interest in the job about 5 weeks ago? Sabian. No.
Was no, it was Lincoln Riley.
Was it Lincoln Riley? It was one of them, and I think that got Jerry excited. I got a feeling that's bad for Jason Garrett. I know Jason Garrett is a legacy man, and he's all about them Cowboys. He played as a third-string quarterback, and and all.
I've never heard of the guy.
He played on Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? But
I always thought he looked so much like Jerry Jones. He had to be family or something.
Right.
One of those.
He is.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody say. That's his illegitimate son.
Right.
Man.
Yeah, I believe so.
I think he's been a coach there for about 8 years now, right?
Yep.
I think it's about time for him to move on. I think if Jerry Jones, especially the talent that he has assembled on that team right now, it ain't no way that Dallas should be struggling the way they're struggling. They shouldn't be. I don't like Dallas, and the better they get, the worse that I feel about it. But man, they got a good team right now, and I'm saying if they don't get a better coach in here, he's gonna lose all those players.
I said at the beginning of the season,
Yeah.
I said Dallas got all the ingredients to make it to the Super Bowl.
Right.
They just don't have a chef.
Yeah, that's really
Not-
what
and
it is.
last week,
Yeah.
and last week was the reason why he needed to go.
Yeah,
They could have won that game against the Patriots.
Yeah.
He didn't dial up the right game plans to win it.
Well,
This ain't the first time or last time he will do it.
nope.
He's not a head coach. He's a
But you know what?
coordinator.
Only way I see Garrett coming back next season is if Dallas at least make it to the Super Bowl. They don't got to win the Super Bowl. They got to play in it though. You know what I'm saying, right?
Here's another thing to my point about coaches that's just, you get somebody, the owner will get somebody out there for the low instead of shopping and actually investing money to put in a coach that's going to understand the game. It's a rainy, cold, wet game, right? Why are you 65% passing in that weather? Brady didn't even do that.
Because your quarterback threw for 444 the week before, and you want to ride that train. You know
Listen,
what I mean?
if you look across that field, you see on that sideline as the legendary head coach. You got arguably the best quarterback ever out there handing the ball off in them conditions. What do you think? What do you say? You're gonna do something different?
The quarterback threw for
against the
444
supposedly
the week before.
Oh, come on,
Big Q.
Yeah.
The rule of thumb, football 101. If you got inclement weather, what do you do?
Oh, you run a football, but unless your
You
quarterback,
just paid this guy a whole lot of money.
unless your quarterback
Run
threw
it.
for 444 the week before, then
No, dude, no.
And a comfortable dome, or it was a sunny day. Yeah, come on, man.
Look, man,
it's like you ain't trying to win.
Dak had the high hand. He was like, you know what, Dak, fire that thing, bro. Another 444.
No.
Yeah, let's do it.
And Dak did a good job. I
He
can't
did.
knock Dak.
Yeah,
He did.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't have been an opportunity for a mistake to be made had you ran the ball.
Absolutely.
Had you find a way to get Zeke
Right.
the football.
You have Ezekiel Elliott on your team.
Yeah.
You playing them like you had.
I mean, that was the perfect time to play Ezekiel. That's when he should have earned that check. You know what I'm saying?
This is how ass backwards Dallas was.
Yeah.
You making all them passes. Guess how many catches Amari Cooper had against Gilmore? Zero catches.
Exactly.
Zero.
Yeah.
So what the hell was the
But
point?
your
I'm
quarterback
sorry,
he threw for 444 the week before. That's all I'm saying.
Nah,
You know?
and he lost that game.
And what did Jason Garrett say when they asked him about it? He said the analytics was his sole decision making was based on the analytics. His quarterback threw for 400 yards the week before. He was going with that. That's what he said. He said that he was going with the analytics. And analytics didn't tell him to run the football because that ain't what they did last week. They threw the ball.
As far as
400
somebody's
yards.
equation, how to get fired.
Just tell you. That's what he said. You know what I mean?
He got himself fired.
That's what he said.
Dak postponed his payday.
Right. Yeah.
Which time he signed his pink slip.
Right.
And they put Zeke under the microscope because they just gave you the money.
Well, what Dak don't realize is that Jason Garrett is holding up his money. That's what he's doing, right?
That's who's got it.
Oh yeah. All right, man. I think we gotta button this one up a little tight this week. I don't think we got time to do the games this week, do we?
We can do a couple.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, we got to do them. We got to do the game of the week.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Let's go ahead and do that, man. We got the what is it, 9-1? No, I'm sorry, 10-1 San Francisco 49ers going up to JB's place that's behind them to play the 9-2.
The bank, baby.
Baltimore Ravens.
Man, this is gonna be a sizzler right here, bro. And I like it because you know what? This is gonna prove. Well, it might prove a couple things. I think number one is gonna prove, because we talked about 3 weeks ago. You want to know who was gonna knock off the
49ers,
and I said that I thought it was the 49ers and it was the Pats, right? And I said I think the Ravens was gonna be the team that do both, but somebody beat. I think the Seahawks beat the Ravens to the punch on this one, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I still stand by my pick. I still think the Ravens gonna win the game. I don't even think this is like everybody thinks it's gonna be a big test between the parity between NFC play and AFC play is ridiculously, like, the gap is ridiculous, right? The difference is on these two teams. Normally I would roll with the NFC team, but in this case it's flip flop. I think that the 49ers are gonna get shocked. I think they're gonna really see what it's really about, and they're gonna realize how good or how not good they really are. If they feel in some type of way about how good they think they are, they get ready to be humbled. You know what I'm saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way I see it. It should be fun to watch. You know, it should be fun to watch. So I got the Ravens getting it done. I don't think it's gonna be that much of a contest. I think the Niners show up. And they beat their chest a little bit early in the game, and then they proceed to get mopped up. That's what I believe. Yeah.
Dude, I like the cohesiveness that the Ravens have.
Yeah.
And how they almost like a family.
Yeah.
They have each other's back.
Mm-hmm.
You got Lamar Jackson doing
go
ahead and say doing shit I ain't seen done in a long time. And like I said last week, the only way the Baltimore Ravens was gonna beat I can't remember who was that they played. Rams.
Yeah, Rams.
Rams across the country. You gotta give the ball to Ingram.
Yeah.
As much as they use Jackson's arm, and that's what they did, they're gonna have to do the same thing again this week.
Yeah.
That San Francisco defense is legit, people.
It's
legit. You didn't understand that, but they gotta hit. They gotta open up certain situations. Run it sometimes, pass it sometimes. It's gonna be a great game. It's gonna be a beautiful game. I think the Ravens gonna win off a touchdown.
Yeah. You know what? I think what the Ravens got going on right now, because I've seen it before, it's a magical little run they got going on right now, and the vibe that they got within their team. I mean, I roll with a team who had the same kind of vibe. It's hard to beat the squad when they feeling like that. When they feel like they can't be beat, it's hard to beat them. It's hard to beat them. It really is. Anyway, Jimmy, I know where you're going, but let me hear your spiel on the game.
Well, just to your point, I think San Francisco feels the same way.
They do.
I could tell by how
Richard Sherman out there.
Sherman's energy at the press conferences. But I think it's going to be just real quick, because I know Glass got to roll. I think it's going to be a match in wits of both teams can run the ball well. It's going to come down to whoever had a better running game and special teams. I think we got the best kick in the game. I think we win it by 3 at home. Yeah. It's going to be the defenses of both. I think the 49ers are great up front. We got a better secondary. I just think that it's about stops. There won't be very many turnovers in this game, because they're going to be both trying to run the ball. But it's going to come down to special teams and running game, in my opinion. Because I've seen both of them. I remember the 40-25 leaker that we had with the Browns, and I remember their 9-0 game against the Redskins. So if it's going to be a test, if they're going to go to their strengths, both teams.
I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be an awesome game. And I really do believe that this is probably a precursor to what we're going to see in February. Because if it ain't San Francisco, it's going to be Green Bay or New Orleans, right? I'm probably leaning more toward New Orleans than Green Bay. But I just don't think – I think we might as well go ahead and know that,
it's going to take an extra quarter to try to outscore San Francisco. You better be trying. We've seen it. The only game that they lost at the late. and it took an extra quarter to determine it.
Yeah.
You can't be trying to outshoot them.
Yeah.
I agree. I think Garoppolo going to make the first mistake.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Actually, you said you think the ball can get turned over that much. I actually think both teams probably going to turn the ball over twice.
The defenses are they good?
Oh yeah.
They are. They good.
Yeah. So,
but it's funny how both teams got a Seattle player. You got Sherman, you got Thomas.
Right. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a great game. And what is that? They better because it was
a noon game.
It's 1:00. Well, noon for you, Glad.
Well, noon for me.
And they didn't flex it out.
Nah, I guess who got the Sunday night spot?
Man, was it Dallas? No, Dallas playing tomorrow, right?
We ain't even gonna talk about it.
No, it ain't even worth it.
Wow. I don't even know who it is. Oh, anyway, man, we had to shorten the show up a little bit. Well, I don't know if it was that short, if it did start 5 minutes early. But anyway.
We good.
I want to thank everybody who showed up, and I know we didn't get a lot of messages in the comment section, but I know people came through. I watched the numbers go up and down. People coming in and out of the chat. Definitely appreciate that. We appreciate the support you guys are showing to the show. Definitely saw that you guys do like the audio version of the podcast, and they put it up for the first time last week. I will do that again this week because it seemed like you guys really like that. I'll do that going forward. Anyway, fellas, go ahead and put yourself over real quick so we can wrap this puppy up. Jay,
I'm going to go first, Glass. Hey, everybody have a great Thanksgiving with your friends and family. If you celebrate the holiday, if not, go do something fun anyway because you ain't got to go to work. Another thing, we're going to have to start reading the comments because I got God talked to me at work, said we don't read the comments enough. So we're going to have to make a special segment.
Okay.
But we read off the comments because people are coming in here and they want to be heard, damn it. Anyway.
I will do that. All right. You got my word. I will do that.
All right, cool. So, quickly, you can always find me here live on Wednesdays or as Raven Shogun on Twitter.
All right, good stuff. All right, Glass, go ahead and then shut this bad boy down for us.
All right, man. If y'all don't catch me here with my brothers, Big Q, JB on TeamBoydTV Live, you can catch me on all social medias. Instagram, Facebook, The Sage of Sports, Twitter, Sage of Sports 1. Email me at thesageofsports@gmail.com. Shouts out to Urban Arena, AA Sports doing what they're doing, and happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. Enjoy it with your fam.
All right, and on that note, man, we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Again, just like the fella said, I echo their sentiments, man. For everybody who get a chance to be with your family tomorrow, be with your family. I gotta work, so I won't get to be with mine. So for everybody who do, like I said, got a chance to be with your family, do it. And we will see y'all, Lord willing, next Wednesday. We'll chop some more stuff up for y'all. Everybody take it easy. We'll holler. Peace.